telepathy, and other psychic gifts in children with autism. So, if you look at this topic, there's been a lot of talk about it right now on social media, thanks to this podcast called Telepathy Talks. But this is something parents with children with autism have suspected for very long. In 2018, a test was made in Sweden comparing the psychic abilities of 17 high-functioning autistic persons and 17 neurotypical persons, and they found that the autistic persons, which you see in the blue mark, all of them had much more psychic abilities, like felt the spirit, presence of spirit, or felt other supernatural, natural entities, or they felt the presence of God. There were so many other psychic abilities that these children seem to possess, those with autism. Now, to understand the types of psychic gifts, one has to understand who we really are. In one word, we are consciousness that is aware of matter. We are all consciousness, and we are aware of that consciousness is aware of matter. That matter can be our physical body and this physical universe. But that is what generally we all are. But those with psychic abilities are those people who are perceiving things which the senses can't perceive, that is of the subtler realms. And all these subtler realms are very much part of us. We need to understand that there is something more than just the physical body, that we have actually, we are all actually a sevenfold body. As per Theosophy, this is our dual nature. The higher part of us, called Atma Buddhi Manas, is our soul, which goes from birth to birth. And our lower part of us is our personality, which we take up in every birth, with our lower mind, our emotions, our etheric body, which is nothing but a physical double, a literal double of our physical body, which is where our pranas flow. So these four components of the lower mind, the emotion, and the etheric body, along with the physical, is called the lower quaternary, which is our personality, and the higher self is our soul. Now, the Vedas also talk about something similar when they say the Panchakoshas, Sthula Sharira, which is the Annamaya Kosha, the Sukshma Sharira, which is the Pranamaya, and Manomaya and Vijnanamaya Kosha, and then the Karana Sharira as Anandamaya Kosha. The Theosophy just names these a little differently and divides these a little differently. So this is what, as you can see once more, this is what the art sevenfold body as per Theosophy says. Now there are magnetic links which connect all of these bodies, and these are very, very important and have been seen by clairvoyants. One of the famous ones, who's a theosophist called was a theosophist called Dora Kunz, who saw that the magnetic links between these various bodies were weak in children with autism. So that is one of the reasons why we find a lot of the symptoms connected to autism are there. For example, the reason, one of the things is that many of the autistic children, when they communicate, they say that they don't feel their bodies. And one of the reasons they jump and they rock or they shake their hand is that that helps them to ground their feelings. And this is a book which has been written by a Japanese boy called Naoki Nigashida, who has written the book called The Reason I Jump. He's a very smart and self-aware book. And at the age of 13, he wrote this book, and he explains this whole out-of-body feeling that he gets, which causes him to jump. So this is the one of the reasons for this jumping is because of these low magnetic links between the etheric body of a autistic person and the physical body. Apart from that, he also finds it difficult because he or she is completely aware in his mind and his emotions, but he finds it hard to communicate his thoughts and his feelings to the outer world because those links are missing. And all this causes severe anxiety in him because he feels very isolated, unable to communicate his thoughts and feelings to others. He also loves music and nature walks and rides because all that calms his anxiety down, and all of that is non-threatening. So, with assisted communication, and assisted communication is a form of helping the autistic child by touching the arm of the child or the hand of the child while the child is typing or writing. This helps the child to ground. And this has, though this has been controversial, but it has been shown repeatedly that if after some time the child may not even need assisted communication and he will be able to type or write on his own. But until they do need that, this grounds them and helps them to communicate. Now, autistic beings having such a disconnection with their physical body, they seem to be more connected with their higher self. As we already saw, our higher self is our Atma Buddhi Manas, our higher mind, our intuitive self. So because of that, they are able to have certain powers like thought reading, or they sense emotions. They're also able to transfer their thoughts, that is telepathy. They're also able to see invisible entities, that is clairvoyance, and also able to hear things at a distance. All of this is because those are the powers of the higher self. They are the powers of our higher mind, and all of these powers are there in them, and we are normally not accessing that because all we use is our normal rational thinking mind. Now, one thing which has also comes a lot in the news is autism and the savant syndrome. A savant syndrome, a person who displays savant syndrome has some exceptional abilities. Like, for example, this person called Daniel Tammet, which you see the picture on the top, is a person who could once recite the number pi, which we normally called 3.14, but it goes on in infinity, this number, up to 22,000 digits. He was able to remember 22,000 digits of this number pi. And also, if he heard a piano concerto played even once, he could play it once more completely, perfectly, without any practice or anything. And another autistic savant, well known, is this artist Stephen Wiltshire, who was also shown some remarkable skills. He would just go on a ride, on a helicopter ride over a city, and be able to draw in detail every bit of the city. So, not all autistic persons have savant syndrome. Only 10% people are supposed to have this special ability. Now, this syndrome has also become famous in the movie Rain Man, and it was actually inspired by this person called Kim Peek, who had this astounding ability that he could read with 2 pages at the same time, and he read almost 12,000 books, including the Bible, and he remembers every single thing that he has read. It takes him only 8 seconds to read and memorize 2 pages. That is how brilliant he is. Now, what is the human biofield? This is something which has again come a lot in the zeitgeist nowadays. Biofield is nothing but our entire aura, which consists of our etheric body, our emotional and mental body, all of our bodies that we carry around us. That is our biofield. This is the new word. Biofield, in as per Google, says that is a term given to the energy field which is around us, which interpenetrates and surrounds the physical body. And it consists of electromagnetic, thermal, and putative energies. So, all of these subtle energies are there in this biofield. And this is a field which these children are able to feel. Now, what can a parent with an autistic child know do after knowing all these things? Firstly, parents should stop trying to normalize the autistic person because he is got a different body. Only physically that body may be same, but there is something different because the subtle bodies are not normally connected to the physical body. And then they should definitely keep on exposing them to continued knowledge and teachings, academic teachings, even if the child can't pass any tests or show proofs that he is learning, because they are really learning. And sometimes may be very disturbed. Imagine their lonely lives when they can't communicate with everyone around. So they have to be calmed down. They have a lot of calming strategies are there. The parents need to help them, and they should be treated as a normal person. People should talk to them like as if they are normal, not like infantilize them and treat them like they're permanent babies, but rather as per their age they should be treated. They should also find ways by which these children can communicate either by typing or by using what is called a letterboard, which is a series of letters stencil in which the child is asked to point to letters and make words, which children have been known to be able to do. Also, helping them learn by reading out to them, using other audio methods to teach them. If they are visual learners, to expose them to a lot of learning, keeping on helping them to develop their abilities and their knowledge skills. And also they should be able to be allowed to get breaks from the parent. Like all children like breaks from their parents, and so do children with autism like that break. So they should involve other professionals or helpers or volunteers to take care of them in that absence. Now, autism, from the perspective of the theosophy, says something very interesting. And this is a theory that I personally have, which is that autism is possibly the beginning of the sixth root race. As we know, as per theosophy, there are different root races. We are in the fifth root race, which is the Aryan race. Which began 3-4 million years ago. Before that, we had the Atlantean race, which was part of the Atlantis archipelago of islands, which was in the Atlantic Ocean. Before that, there was the Lemurian race, which was on the Indian Ocean. And these races have been coming, and they disappeared thanks to fire, volcanic eruptions, or water, large floods. And our present race is the Aryan race, which is the fifth race. In all, there are supposed to be seven root races. The future root race is supposed to be the sixth root race, which is they say will happen, start in California, North America, and California, and Australia, and some other parts of the world. And it's very strange to see that California, while the rest of the world, the statistics for today's statistics for autism is 1 in 36. In California, it's 1 in 26, and in Australia, it's 1 in 30. So these statistics make you feel that it's possible that these children, and it has also been written in our literature, in the Theosophic literature, that initially these sixth root race children, persons, will come with certain anomalies, certain deficiencies, but eventually nature will counter all that, and they will come out as whole children. And if you look at the statistics of autism, in the 1980s, they were just 1 in 10,000. Now, all over the world, it's 1 in 30, 1 in 36. The numbers are just increasing monumentally. Today, there are more than 6 crore humans who come in autism spectrum disorder. And people are astounded at, they call it an autism epidemic, but it is probably nature's own way of developing a new kind of human, a more unselfish, a more spiritual, a more deeper human being, who is not competing with anybody, who is connected to his intuitive higher self, and is able to operate from that higher self. Now, what does the Theosophic literature say about this? It says the sixth subrace of the Aryan root race will begin to evolve in the area of the United States in the early 21st century. That is, this here, they're talking about people who will be a little more advanced than the children that you see with autism. This sixth subrace of it's called the subrace of the Aryan root race. This is not yet the sixth root race. It is every root race has got seven subraces. So right now we are in the fifth root race, fifth subrace. The sixth subrace has yet to come, and the sixth subrace is the one which is showing these symbols, symptoms of autism. Now it says the sixth subrace of the Aryan root race will be called the Australo American subrace, and is believed by theosophists to be now arising in Australia and in Western United States. Many individuals of the new subrace will be born in California. Just as we saw that the statistics of both Australia and California are far more for autism than the rest of the world. Then the sixth Australo American subrace will possess certain psychic powers, and for this, the pituitary body will be developed, thus giving an additional sense, that of cognizing astral emotions in the ordinary waking consciousness. That is, these people will be able to astral travel. They will be able to read the emotions of others. They will possess psychic gifts. That is the quality of this sixth subrace. We may say in general that the sixth subrace will bring in wisdom and intuition, blending all that is best in the intelligence of the fifth subrace and the emotion of the fourth subrace. So each subrace develops, or each race develops a certain quality. The fifth root race develops the mind, the fourth root race develop the emotion. So the sixth root race will develop the intuition. As you saw, in the sevenfold body, the fourth was level is the emotional and lower mental level. The fifth is the mental level, the higher mental level, and the sixth is the buddhic level. So the sixth subrace will also develop the buddhic level. And as you can see, autistic children are showing that they are intuitive and they have these psychic gifts. Another theosophist who also was a clairvoyant, he had explored the concept of sixth root race and has even written a booklet on it. He says that there will be an emergence of the sixth root race along with birth defects or anomalies in the physical realm. These anomalies, from a theosophical perspective, are not necessarily negative, but rather indicators of humanity's evolutionary process as it transitions into the sixth root race. So the fifth root race is transitioning into the sixth root race. So we are now expecting the sixth sub race of the fifth root race to happen. And as this transition takes place, humanity will develop more of these psychic abilities. Now, the emergence of these anomalies reflect the subtle changes occurring within humanity's consciousness and the physical structures that arise out of such results. Now, what is the conclusion? Now, what I would conclude here is autism is a new kind of humanity being developed by nature, more sensitive, more true, more loving, without competitiveness, comparison, jealousy, or hatred. The parents who have such children have two special challenges: one, to teach others about autism, and two, to help the autistic person develop his or her potential and lead a happy life. When a certain behavior is not understood, parents should research deeply on the why behind it. Even if parents find it hard to accept these ideas, keeping them as provisional ideas helps to research more. They can research more on these topics. They can study theosophy. They can try and understand what are root races. Then the autistic person, we need to understand that the autistic person desperately needs our understanding, our help and support, and it is up to us to change ourselves. So this ends this conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and I end the this whole topic. Thank you.